Hey everybody, give me 1 second. I'm putting in my earplugs. Almost forgot them, and I can't hear my guests if I don't have them. Now everything's all screwed up because I plugged in headphones. Um, you are audio. Sorry, desktop audio is on. Hi everybody. Um, if I could just get some chit chat here from Sully so I can check audio levels.
Yeah, check
There
one,
we are.
two, check 1 2. Hello.
We're good. All right. Um, I'm all over the place right now. So, how's everybody doing? Good morning, Trail Dust, Bloobs, Dogbone, Paul Orchard, Mountain Home Forge, Bortagov, David McMinn. Hi, Robert Whitney. What's up, everybody? So yeah, rainy, miserable, windy, cold day at Island Metal Forge. How's the weather in your neck of the woods?
Yeah, well, over here it's cold. I mean, like I got up and it's 37 degrees outside, so I'm like, I know I'm wearing today.
Yeah, I know it's 50 right now, but it's dropping quickly. Hey, Rob. Um, now, yeah, I don't want to make the show about the weather.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, um, but yeah, welcome to Blacksmiths Church, where we talk blacksmithing and metal and what's going on in each other's shops. Um,
Yeah.
I will say today after church is my guild's my Tidewater Blacksmith Guild Christmas party. So I will be heading up to Chesapeake after church to uh, play. Hey Keith, um, but yeah, one of my buddies sent me a message. He's like, "I got a present for you. Make sure you're there." I'm like, "All right." I think I burnt one of my eyebrows. I feel like that little thing. Anyway, um, there's the message too. Uh, yeah, a lot of weather we've been having.
Hmm.
All right. Hey, Speargrass.
What's up, Adam?
Just popping in to say hi for a minute. Might be back soon on my break, but it's a work night. Yeah. We're saving the big, awesome discussion for Metal of the Week for next week. Is going to be rebar, and it's going to be awesome. And I almost went into a rabbit hole with it with Sulbert here before the show and Mick Chu. But today we've got Beryllium. Now, full disclaimer, Metal of the Week does not necessarily mean forgeable Metal of the Week. We're kind of just, talking metal.
Yeah, and I wanted to just kind of put that out there. There are there are interesting metals out there that I think all across the periodic table. And yeah, it's not steel of the week. So I'm gonna occasionally do a small segment on something that you don't ever really hear about or anything or find usable as far as the blacksmith goes, but can be interesting nonetheless. So yeah, this week I picked beryllium, and I specifically picked beryllium because I was waiting. I was watching a YouTube video about I had nickel written down, and then so I was like, all right, we'll do that, and then I watched a video called "The Insane Engineering of the James Webb Space Telescope," and that got me onto beryllium because the 25 square meter primary mirror of the James Webb Space Telescope, which will be launching on the 24th, Christmas Eve, on an Ariane 5 from French New Guinea. Anyways, this 25 square meter mirror is made of beryllium. And the reason it's made of beryllium is because by weight, it's 16 times stronger than steel. And it is quite brittle, in fact. And it's yeah, that it's extremely lightweight, and so I mean it's atomic number 4, and which hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium. It's the fourth element on the periodic table, and in this particular case of use, they coated because beryllium is a dull gray color. It's not really reflective, and so they coated it with 48 grams of gold. That entire 25 square meters. It took 48 grams of gold to coat it in a layer 1/10,000th the thickness of a human hair, and that's the reflective part of the mirror. And it's gold because gold is a almost perfect reflector of infrared light.
Yeah.
Anyways,
But they chose beryllium because it's strong and light.
That's right. Very strong and very light, and also has one of the lowest productions. It is one of the rarest elements in the universe, just because it is readily fused into other elements in the cores of stars. And so the beryllium that exists is usually from decay from other elements.
Yeah, it's
it does not occur. It does not occur naturally. I mean, like in its pure form, because it's divalent. It is always found in combination with other elements to form minerals. So in Earth's crust, the most common form of beryllium is the mineral beryl, and some of you may know that as emerald. So emerald is beryl, and it gets its green color from the 2% chromium that is in the mix. But yeah, and so that is the most common like pure form of it, or purest form of beryllium. And then there are obviously soils and whatnot that are high in beryllium compounds, which is where the world's beryllium is basically extracted from, for a net production of around 220 tons per year.
Mm.
So, and if you think 220 tons a year is not very much stuff.
So beryllium being a rare element, one of the more rare elements, would you say the one of the more common elements would be the element of surprise?
yeah. That would be a fair assumption.
Yeah. Thank you, Robert. Yeah, that was a fun video. We'll get into Roy's Christmas party here in a sec. Morning, Eric. But yeah, the only thing I know about beryllium. I mean, through my rabbit holes that I always go down to, was the Demon Core project back during the Manhattan Project. The Demon Core was a plutonium core that was actually going to be used as the third bomb and all that stuff during World War II. But yes, Rob, I'm going to have to do that. Hey, Canadian necktie. And maybe I'll make it out of beryllium. A beryllium poop spoon. toilet spoon. Toilet spoon. But yeah, where beryllium comes to play in radioactive materials and atomic age stuff is it reflects neutrons, and it basically it's like 1 to 2 reflection. Like if it takes it in, it puts out 2 more. It decays and puts out neutrons. And really interesting stuff, because you would think that it reflects it, that means it contains it, but the fact that it puts off another neutron when it reflects it, it kind of supercharges the reactions. And so if you have like in the case of the Demon Core, when they switched from tungsten to beryllium, and they fully encapsulated it, it caused the plutonium to go supercritical and put off lots of stuff. Hey, Bill Corey. Lots of that radiation. It's an interesting one of my favorite atomic age stories. Incidences as far as how the experiments were handled and all that stuff. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, that's where I know beryllium from. And as Sully here said, his favorite aspect of beryllium is is more of a practical use of it being lightweight and stronger than steel, although it's brittle. It used in space travel or
it's very extensively used in the manufacture of satellites and spacecraft.
Yes.
And to a limited extent in just general aerospace in general, but yeah, most of beryllium's like practical application winds up being space related nowadays, just because of its high strength and lightweight. I mean, there's also, it's also a critical component in the nuclear reactors that they use, the plutonium reactors they use to power the long-lived spacecraft, things like the Voyagers and New Horizons that have one of them like plutonium generators on them, which the public's not real happy about. Scientists throwing nuclear basically generators up into the sky in case they blow up, but they do. Like in the case of Voyagers, continue to power spacecraft for 40 years, and so yeah, it's a critical. I'm not reading Wikipedia. I'm just telling you what I read the other day, and off the top of my head. And yeah, so it's a critical component of that, which it's part of the space industry, so to speak.
Yeah. Now, how it applies to blacksmithing, it kind of doesn't.
It does. Yeah, that's really that was kind of the point.
Yeah, it kind of doesn't. However, in our eternal search for anything to throw in the fire, if you could afford to get your hands on a bar of beryllium, because as we learned last week through Roy and Sully's research, is what is on a spec sheet is for industry that material is used for. It's that spec sheet is that industry standard, not necessarily a homegrown forge. So I wonder if you could get your hands on a bar of beryllium.
So and actually, beryllium is used and it's alloyed with things like aluminum or copper and iron, nickel, and it improves the properties. It's like anything else. It's often an alloying element, right? And so, like if you make tools out of beryllium copper, they're strong, they're hard, and they don't spark if they strike a steel surface. So they're commonly used in areas that need to be intrinsically safe, like say in a coal mine and stuff like that.
Right. Right. So yeah. So it's one of those added ingredients to a otherwise forgeable material, aluminum, copper, etc. So you could have beryllium, but it wouldn't be pure solid beryllium. It would be beryllium and copper, and it would basically enhance the strength of the copper. Is what I'm hearing, and still be like strong, but like you said, spark resistant. Hey Devi, hey Dana. Is that what I'm gathering? So, if you were to find copper and beryllium,
yeah, something else, and I forgot what it was. Scan real quick. No, I don't.
I go more on the creative theory and like non-scientific thoughts about doing something.
Right. And I do know it's like it oxidizes completely through at like 500 Celsius, and I don't know what that is in freedom units.
I suppose I could look that up. Bill Corey.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm now going to be en route. So.
Yeah. Sully is actively driving, so any quick researches I have to do.
I'm supposed to leave the laptop sitting here, and it's gonna be me and my phone and my headset. My cousin is already on the ground and waiting on his luggage, so I am late. It's 9:40, and it is not 9:40.
Heed the warnings. Yep. Okay.
I know what I was gonna put out there. If you remember last week, we discussed with Roy the copperitis or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And well, beryllium does the same thing. It is anytime it's used in industrial processes, extreme dust control measures are required because the inhalation of the dust can be fatally toxic with berylliitis.
Huh. So 500 degrees Celsius is 932 degrees Fahrenheit. So
at that point, beryllium crumbles, oxidizes into beryllium oxide, and becomes crumbly.
So don't throw it in your forge.
I would say not. And then at 1257, I believe 2500 degrees Celsius. See, 1257 is the melting point, and 2500 it burns. Very similar to magnesium. You remember doing magnesium burns. Beryllium will do the same thing.
Really? Neat. And Rob just priced it, did a quick pricing. 2 pounds of beryllium is about $2,000. So, yeah. But it being so...
I was curious, but...
Yeah, it being so lightweight, how much is that? Is that like a big brick, you know?
You would think 10 pounds or 2 pounds would be a decent volume.
Yeah.
Because it is the second lightest metal. Well, no, third, because hydrogen is technically a metal, and so is lithium. So.
Yeah, weren't we joking around once about forging hydrogen?
Yes, we were joking around about that because while hydrogen metal has been crystallized, hydrogen metal has been created. The temperatures and pressures at which that is done is insane.
Yeah, make a beryllium hammer. What's up, Corgi? How you doing, Daniel?
I wonder what the volume would be on a 6-pound beryllium hammer. I mean, like
Rob Huff actually just put the volume of 2 pounds of beryllium. Its length is 138 millimeters. Its diameter is 67 millimeters. So a round bar stock of beryllium, 2 pounds, would be 138 millimeter by 67 millimeters. Yeah.
that is quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Because 67 millimeters wide, that's 6.5 centimeters. That's 3 inch, basically like 3 inch round stock.
Yeah.
And 6 inches long.
Something like that, roughly. Sure.
Yeah. If that was steel,
I don't know. I'm just agreeing with you.
I'm just guesstimating in my head. I'm not doing an exact
conversion.
I'm not doing the exact math.
Yeah.
I'm driving. That's the best I can do.
Yeah. Yeah. Corgi Forge popped in. He's Dan. You saw Dan Schreiner. Dan from Corgi Forge. I was recently at his shop working with him and Kelly. You guys may remember that live stream. Yeah. Rob just did the math. Thank you, Rob. It's 4.4 inch or 5.4 inches by 2.6 inches. So just under 6 inches long.
I was close.
Just under 3 inches. So it's like 2.5 inch diameter by about 5.5 inches long. Hey, Paul. Good morning, Curtis. Google did the math. All right. Well, you went through the effort to Google it for us, so thank you, Rob. You're an invaluable asset to this endeavor.
Yeah.
The basket.
That was pretty close. I mean, just like off the top of my head, I guessed 3 by 6. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't even have guessed. I mean, to me, a millimeter is teeny tiny. So,
Well, you drop a zero and call it centimeters.
Centimeter is not quite an inch.
2.4 centimeters to the inch.
Yeah.
Or is it 1.6?
I don't know. Stop giving Rob things to Google.
I can't. I can't remember the conversion right on that. If it's 1.6, because one of them is let's see, I think it's 2.4 pounds to the kilogram. I think it's 1.6 centimeters to the inch.
Rob has the conversion, rough conversion. From, he says that would be about 8 pounds in steel. He thinks.
Okay.
Hey, Paul, how you doing? I think the sledge we made was a 5x3 billet, and it came out just under 9 pounds. Yep. Why can't you Yanks get metric? Because we had actually gone over that here in church at one point. That was it's not that we can't get it. It's just that we don't use it in our day-to-day life. So while we may have the conversion rate up here somewhere, it's like if I were to go down the street and be like, yeah, let me get 2 liters of gas or whatever, or 16 liters of gas or whatever, or be on a construction site and somebody says, hey, how long is that 2x4? Or, what's the space between those joists? And I say, oh, it's 37 millimeters or whatever. And they go, what? It's we don't use it in our day-to-day life. So
whenever we don't inherently think it's metric. So we use metric in order to understand it. We have to convert metric to imperial, and then vice versa. Imperial metric would be to convey the information to somebody else.
Yeah.
So I understand metric completely, but I also understand that I don't see metric all by itself. In my head, I automatically do a roundabout conversion to imperial. So we're going out 100 clicks, and I go, okay, 62 miles. I just automatically in my head converted to 62 miles instead of just knowing the distance that is 100 kilometers. You know what I mean? And I just inherently and automatically do that with any metric measure. And in my head, I convert it to imperial, and then I understand the volume, the length, the weight, whatever it is that is being measured empirically. And I think most Americans do the same thing, just because that the imperial system was just drilled into us in school, and even though they don't teach you metric until like high school, when you start taking chemistry and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's where that really comes in. And by then, you're so ingrained into imperial that at that point it's just too difficult to go back.
Yeah, it happens. Hey, Dwayne, what's up, Roy?
Anyways, we've had that discussion. I think that's twice now. So.
Yeah, we've beaten that discussion to death, and yeah.
No, and I'm sure we'll do it a couple more times.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so stretch. Yeah, I mean beryllium. It's a fascinating metal, and its uses in its particular industries it's invaluable. It's just, and that's it being so rare and expensive and crazy, and the fact that you can't forge it because it crumbles at 900 degrees. Well, okay. I wonder if you were to say forge it at 400 degrees, if it would be malleable enough. I don't know.
That's a good point. I mean, much like for instance, if you were going to hot forge, just throwing this out there, if you were going to hot forge lead, I mean, not that you would need to, because you could, much like gold, you could just cold forge. But if you were going to, you'd have to do it at well under 800 degrees, because 800 degrees Fahrenheit is where it melts at, right?
Yeah.
Give or take. I'm once again guesstimating. So you would say like 400 would be like an optimal hot forging temperature for lead, and similarly, beryllium might have similar characteristics where, well,
need to forge it at 500
maybe,
Celsius.
Maybe it moves smooth as butter at 250. You know?
Sure.
I mean, like personally, I'm not going to buy some beryllium. It doesn't buy it now, but you know, it's fun. It's fun to contemplate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's your homework for the week, guys. Source yourself some beryllium and figure out what temperature it forges at.
And if you can pull that one, I'll have you do lithium next. Just remember, don't quench it.
Yeah.
In case you don't know, lithium is extremely reactive with water. In fact, moisture in the air will cause it to ignite when exposed to the air. So
Yeah, I actually saw a video of somebody cutting open not to go into lithium, but I saw a video of a person cutting open a lithium battery, and it just, you know.
Yeah, I was breaking open an old cell phone battery to see what was in it one time. That went horribly wrong. I was doing it over the trash can, and just like snapping with a couple pairs of pliers and snapping off little broken pieces of plastic and dropping them into the trash can. That sucker went up like instant, like I don't know. I mean, it didn't explode, but it was a very fast fire in my hand, and I dropped it into the trash, lit the trash on fire. So yeah, I was in the kitchen of my house, like grabbing the trash can and carrying it outside while it was on fire. That was fun, and my first ex-wife never let me really into something a big fire in the house.
Yeah.
What were you thinking? I was like, I wanted to see what was inside it. So yeah, don't try that at home, folks. That can end very badly. Beryllium, on the other hand, I mean, hey, if you got the financial wherewithal to snatch some up, go right ahead.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know last week me and Yamez could have bought tons of it, but that was only briefly.
Yeah. Oh, last week was great. Last week I was a billionaire. Yeah, billionaire for about an hour. It was fantastic. It was like, ha 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 ha, peasants.
Yeah, right. I'm just glad I didn't get my job. That's why I'm like, 24.
Some people did. Not to derail this, guys, but yeah, some people did. And what we're talking about is that there was a crypto glitch for a major reporting agency for the cryptocurrencies, CoinMarketCap, and it had a major glitch, and everything jumped up like a gazillion %. And I don't, I'm not saying a gazillion % as in like some unknown number. Like it was like, millions and billions and billions, a legit gazillion %. Like
the coin the coin in question that we had was listed. I mean, like the day before, say $560 per token, and for a couple hours there, 2.5 billion per token.
Yeah, so it's like, and it happened across the board. So a few people saw that, and I'm on Reddit and I'm reading about it, and several people quit their jobs the second it happened, thinking that it was real, and it's like, yeah, just hilarious. Anyway.
Send me the article, and it's like, dude, it's a glitch. And I'm like, I immediately knew it was a glitch, and immediately my wealth so I can get the screenshot. And and that's really, I mean, like, since I got into crypto, that's like the one thing I wanted. I was like, I was just waiting to catch a glitch, because there had been like 2 of them that have happened since last May, and I found out about it the day after. And luckily, I found Yamez hit me with this one while it was still happening, so I was able to get a screenshot showing it. For a couple hours there, I was worth $24.5 million.
Yep.
And then 2 hours later, back down to $500.
What's up, Robert? If I may, Sully, transition to discuss Roy's Christmas party.
Yeah, whatever, man. I'm driving, and I'm driving. Just going with the flow, man.
But yeah, so congratulations to Robert, the one person I can remember offhand that won, and I didn't win anything. Everybody thinks it's rigged, but if it was rigged, I would have walked away with that cone mandrel. I really want a cone mandrel. So, would we say, Roy, that it was another successful Blacksmiths Christmas giveaway? I'm not getting a Lamborghini, Paul. I can't. I wouldn't even be able to fit in a Lamborghini. But yeah, it was a super. I was there during it. I did have a meeting at 7 o'clock that I had to kind of mute the chat and listen to. And actually, I ended up being anyway. So I caught the first 2 hours of it, and I had a blast. People were having fun. You know, the community kind of got together, and a lot of people were helping out, and it was awesome. It was just awesome to see.
I don't know how long it went on. I was sitting in the kitchen, or there at the table, and I had my phone plugged in and on, watching on, and I got in like an hour into the stream because I was outside actually foraging and forgot about it, and pulled my phone out to do something. I was like, oh, I forgot this was going on, and so I tuned in, went inside, stopped what I was doing inside, sat down, started watching, and he gave away the last small swage block. And then did two small things right after that, and I don't remember what they were off the top of my head. And then immediately while he started to draw for the second small thing, my phone died.
Oh.
Like while it was plugged in, I was like, what in the heck? And I didn't even get a chance to see, I don't know how long they went after that to draw for the big swing block, so I missed all of that.
Yeah.
I was kind of disappointed, but, sometimes that's the way it goes.
Yeah. 4 hours. I do remember at like 2.5 or 3 hours, you guys, I had a break and I was able to turn the volume up, and somebody had commented about how, this is one of the longest streams, blah, 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 and it's like, I couldn't do it because I was in the middle of something, but I wanted to pop and be like, that's nothing. If y'all remember in the past, I used to do 6-hour live streams Saturdays and Sundays. So welcome to the long stream club there, Roy. It's a fantastic thing, and for those of you who don't know, which I don't know how you couldn't know, every year Roy does a Christmas party giveaway the week before Christmas, which reminds me of a rhyme. 'Twas the week before Christmas, and all through the house the AC was running because we live in the South. Anyway, every year Roy does the Great Blacksmiths Christmas Party giveaway, and he tries to forge things and has a blast chatting with people. This year, I think he did he was dual fisting coffee, and gave away a 142-pound swage block. A 50 pound swedge block, so many tongs, so many blanks, a bottle of magical hot metal glue, few aprons, cone mandrel, plethora of stickers. And
I'm pulling up here to the terminal to pick up my cousin.
Sure.
So I'm gonna mute my end for a little bit because I know he's gonna just yak right off the get go. So I will be listening and be right back.
Heard, bird. Pixie dust, yeah. The metal glue shall not be named. Man, I wanted to win that cone mandrel. Yeah, the Kevlar. It's to be fair though, I won one of the swedge blocks, and I couldn't be happier with it. And I'm not greedy, so it's like, spread the love around, and as long as everybody's happy and nobody sits there. I think the previous year during one of the giveaways, I saw a lot of people complaining. And it's like, man, he's giving away stuff for free. Stop complaining. Quit your whining, like, come on. and I didn't really see any of that this year, and it was fantastic. Yeah, we had to go in slow mode. But yeah, Roy and Jess do this throughout the year. Not only, it's all right, Devi. Not only do they do the Great Blacksmiths giveaway, but they also do giveaways throughout the year as well, like on a fairly regular basis. Fun to be had by all, young and old. Yeah. Yeah, I need to get a year of the Swedge Block sticker. Speaking of which, I got to send Roy a sticker for his fly press. But he has announced officially that next year is going to be Year of the Power Hammer. He is going to be giving away 12 power hammers throughout the... No, I'm just kidding. Fully built and delivered at no charge to you internationally. No, do not quote me on that. Exactly. Yeah, it's sad to see, Rob, but you do know that Roy's and really any main YouTube live stream, especially live streams, has that core audience that my core audience regularly rises, and when it dips, there's like a number that it won't go below because there's the core audience. So yeah, if people are just there for the giveaway and nothing else, oh well, it goes good for the analytics at least. But yeah. I have to go, guys. Thanks again for Roy. Have a great week, Yamas and all. Thank you, Robert. You have a great day. Enjoy that cone mandrel.
Hey, I'd just like to interject here right quick. I am so stoked about Year of the Power Hammer. I mean,
oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I can't wait. I'm gonna actually, I'm gonna be just going for those power hammers. I hope I win all 12 power hammers. The Year of the Hardy Hole. There we go, Roy. The Year of the Hardy Hole. You get nothing. Ship out Hardy Holes.
Oh, that's pretty good right there. I like that. You win a Hardy Hole, and you win a Hardy Hole.
I will ship everybody in this chat a Hardy Hole. Just don't do it through Amazon, or you'll get a refrigerator-sized box for a Hardy Hole. I made them give me 4 hours of watch time each. There you go, Roy. Like I'm saying, Necktie is Roy's Christmas live streams are just, you can't get a word in edgewise sometimes, but dang it if they aren't fun to watch. Just Roy's face light up, and it's like, see Jess in her, every year she does like a Christmas. This year I think she had, they both had the little Russian, or the little Chinook hats, or whatever they're called, not Russian. And Jess always has the nice Christmas sweaters, and Roy buys a new shirt, for the show. And by the end of the show, it's all torn up again. Gifts and nothingness, right? Hey, Rob, how you doing? But yeah, so for those of you who don't know who Roy is, when we're talking about Roy, it's Christ-centered Ironworks, and he's like a small home grassroots channel, and he's got a couple videos out, and they're pretty good. I've taught him everything he knows. For those of you who do know who Roy is, you guys know that I'm full of it. It's not new. It's just clean for once. Okay. Um, yeah. But yeah, it's a fun time to be had, and congratulations to the winners, and just a huge thank you to the entire community for helping it out, for helping. A lot of Christmas gifts were given and sent, and all that. And it was fantastic. Morning, Shane. Um, I would like at some point to be the kind of channel that is able to do that. But part of me is like, you know what? I don't want to be stepping on Roy's toes for being the blacksmith gift giver. But also it's like I got a long way to go before I can do that. So in other news, what's been going on at my shop, and I'm very proud of, and I will post in the chat here. Oh, look, Paul. A metric open-ended spanner bottle opener. Nice. I'm going to post a couple pictures. As most of you guys know, my yard is just crazy. Being a shared nucleus. There you go. The creamy nougat center. Yesterday, before it started raining, I was able to get out and really do some hard work on some of the yard. And I got a before and after picture of what we got done yesterday. And I'm happy with it. Here's the before picture. Look up, loading. Loading. Okay. My yard.
Pay no attention to the pole where they're stealing power from the neighbors.
Shush. Shush, you. Ain't it fun being an electrician? Yeah. So, nucleus don't have toes. And, yeah, that was the first, or that was the before, and this is after. We found things in the in the yard. And it's like, yeah. And for those who don't believe me, every time I do any cleanup or any digging or anything in the yard, I find what?
I said car parts.
Car parts, yeah, exactly. Over here, there was a pile of radiators, okay, and one of them's right here, but old oil filters. I found a whole collection of oil filters in here, and it's just, yeah. So it makes it real hard to weed eat. I used a hedge trimmer to clear it, and I used my hand-forged axe to help knock down some of those big trees that you see in the previous picture. Yeah, just a blast. This is a pile of aluminum and copper that I need to get in my truck and bring to the recycler. And yeah, I've got this tree right here. The reason we're clearing all of this is we've got somebody coming up at some point to remove this tree. So before they do that, I have to clear this all, so that I can dig a trench from the corner of the garage here over to the house to put this wire underground, remove my temp poles, and so they can get their machinery in there. But this tree is starting to tear up the garage. So that needs to kind of it's a gumball tree, and it's several large branches are starting to push into the garage roof, and the roots are starting to pull up the cement. So we've got to kill it, drop it, remove it, and destroy it, get it out of there. So otherwise I will not have a shop anymore. And then I'll probably park a Koenig container, a shipping container or two back here, and that will be storage for all the stuff that I don't need in the garage. So, yeah. Is what it is. Yeah. When we cleaned up behind Grandma's garage, I found Grandpa's forge. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like there's piles in my backyard, in my back 40. It's like there's an old shed that was torn. Actually, a tree fell on it, and it was like kind of buried and overgrown. And as I've been digging, I found it, and it's like there's a whole bunch of cool stuff in there. Nothing blacksmithing related, but just neat stuff that's been forgotten for years, for decades. So, man, I tell you, Roy, it's a huge difference in your 300 plus people on Friday and my 25 average people in my live streams. You know, so not complaining, just observating. Other news and thoughts. So last Wednesday I did a dual stream to Twitch. Okay.
Yeah.
No problem, Roy. And it went well. I think that it went well. It's something that I can grow. There are a lot of little intricacies about it that I need to work on. Namely, A, promoting. B, like I noticed that while the YouTube stream was saved, it doesn't save the thumbnail that I had set up for it. Okay, so there's a few intricacies that I need to go over for it. And figure out, one of which is also noted by Stressmaster on Wednesday, was that the stream was actually in 720, not 1080. And that is a feature to the Restream website. It's something else I'm going to look into, either continue using Restream or using a different source for it, because, hey, Rob, how you doing? Granddad's popped in.
Morning, Rob.
But found these tongs pretty on the property I'm buying. Nice. But yeah, without going into, it's like $19 a month or something like that. I gotta double check the pricing. It's to get to the 1080p streaming, and more bells and whistles, I have to, subscribe, and it's not yet financially responsible to do that. I will keep dual streaming, and so unfortunately,
was that for a month or was that for a year?
I'd have to look into it. I think it's either because there's like 3 different tiers, and I'm going to look into other dual streaming sites that I can work on and check out.
Well, I mean, like, because I didn't go into the Twitch stream. I don't believe. I did watch a little bit of the YouTube stream. As usual, I was busy at the time, so I couldn't just hang out and do a proper analysis of the dual streaming quality there. Okay, I thought it kind of came off pretty good. The only issue was that you had some kind of like chat overlay or something like that on the screen.
Yeah.
It seemed kind of pointless because nobody could see it anyway.
Yeah, after rewatching it, I probably won't use that chat overlay anymore because I couldn't even read it reviewing it afterwards. You know, so and
Right.
the only way to read it is to have it so big that it blocks out everything on the stream, which
Right.
defeats the purpose. It's okay,
Exactly.
Yamez.
Okay.
You're more loved that way. Once a stream gets so big that just like a channel, you'll find more people who don't like you or think you got too big for your britches like me. I'd rather be considered too big for my britches. Right now, people just think that I'm some lumpy, dumpy, goofball in a Hawaiian shirt. Adios,
Well,
necktie.
ironically, I'm already too big for my britches. Buying new pants and shit.
Yeah, I have to buy new pants too. I mean, I've been putting on some weight.
I didn't know he was
But
in the Discord. Rob, unmute your mic and yell at us, scream at us. Come on.
let's say, real cool find there, Rob. And yeah, it's awesome, Trail Dust. Finding that connection to ancestors and stuff, your grandparents, great grandparents, etc. So you scared them away. um, anyway, but yeah, it's real cool. Rob's sharing more. This is him moving his big table. I can't zoom in anymore, so suffer, guys. Uh-oh. Corgi, Yamez will be wearing a kilt this afternoon. Oh no! Is that like a hint of what my Christmas present's gonna be? Did y'all get me a kilt? All right. What I might do is try and share some shorts, YouTube shorts, not like shorts. Short shorts. Ooh, wear shorts.
Man, you beat me to it, yeah, man. It's like, we like shorts.
But I might do some shorts from the Tidewaters Blacksmiths Guild meeting, because it's not so much blacksmithing, but like the iron in the hat items are always big items over there. Maybe there'll be a cone mandrel that I can just throw tickets at. Rob, if you wanted to, for anybody who wants to be in the Discord voice chat, the tip would be mute your YouTube and just you can mute the YouTube and listen straight on, so that you don't have two audio inputs coming through. So, man, I tell you, it's going to be cold and rainy all day. It's just going to get colder and colder and colder. But yeah. So Roy sharing pictures from his phone. These are screenshots, man. Like these are your thumbnails. You can't say that's from your phone. That is an awesome Santa. Used to be his father's, who was a bicycle repairman. Yeah, back in the day, like an anvil, even if you weren't a blacksmith, an anvil was like very common in shops, even if it's a small one, to do, quick repairs or bends with, even without heat. I know that the one of the mechanics that we bring our work trucks to, they have an anvil in their shop, a nice big, like 200-pound, looks like a freaking colonial. And it's like, I'm like, can I have that? How much you want for it? And they're like, no, we ain't getting rid of it. We use it. I'm like, y'all use it? Like, yeah, if they need to straighten something out, they just take it over and it's like, man, I'll give you a block of steel if you just straighten it out. But it's been in their shop for generations. You know, the shop, it's like the shop was his father's shop, and before that it was, you know, like his dad opened it or whatever when he was a, you know, youngin', and they've been working on cars in their family for years and years. So they won't give me their, or they won't sell me their anvil. So, 17 degrees in my chunk of Minnesota. Tell me about cold. It is getting cold, man. It's already gone from 50 today. Like, it was 59 this morning when I woke up, and it's already down to 48. It's cold. Mm-hmm. But let me see. More pictures. That's Roy and Jess. So when is she gonna make you shave your beard as soon as the cold is over? Is she just hating the scruff? or are you joining the great bearded? uh, y'all are great. That picture makes me want to put on sweatpants and hide under my covers. It's like, was it, hold on. 'Twas the week before Christmas, and all through the house the AC was running, 'cause we live in the South. Nope, I chose what and when. I choose what and when. It would be like my ex, where she grabs my beard and a pair of scissors and goes, snip, do something. Like, no! The garden gnome thing. You know, I bet I could probably share the clip of, because I have recorded, yeah, I have a clip of when my ex-wife cut my beard. She wouldn't let me not let her, so I had no choice. I'm like, if this is happening, you know, I'm gonna record it so that I have memories of how evil you were. No, I shouldn't do that. Y'all want to see it? Just to make Yama's cold. I look out the window and see that wind blowing. We got 20 mile an hour winds, or 20 to 22 mile an hour winds with 35 to 38 gusts. So it's blowing the cold in. I can't even show it because I don't have it. Okay, that solves it. I can't show it because it's on my external hard drive, which is not plugged into my computer. So, oh well, maybe one of these days. When beards come up again. Only a couple of you have ever seen my pictures of my wife. Ex-wife. But, regardless, Roy's trying to freeze me out here. People stopped chatting. That's weird. People stop talking, but the viewers are going up. So either way.
Well, I mean, and to be fair, I'm still here.
Yeah.
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
But
You know, I'm just muted because I'm having a side conversation. So I'm having a side chat.
tell Ryan I said hi.
And Yama says hi. He says, "Yo."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Let me see. When grew my goatee long for a medieval wedding at the reception, my wife had clippers and shaved it off in the parking lot. Got it 5 inches long again right now. Nice, Shane. You know, yeah. If I were to stretch it, I got like long, stringy goatee hair. You know, like beard hair, and when I let it grow and don't maintain it, the longest bits are like 7 or 8 inches. But it's like I have to pull them out individually. So collectively, you know, it's like a bunched up bit of like 6-inch long hair, you know. But yeah, a beryllium anvil. I think it would break because it's brittle, you know. Plus the mass. It's a very lightweight material, so it's not dense. So I think it would absorb the shock. That's an interesting thought exercise.
I heard it would break, and then I was like, wait, what?
It wouldn't. Beryllium is brittle, so using it as an anvil would crack it, right?
That's correct. Yeah, it's 16 times stronger than steel by weight, but it's also very. It is not malleable at all. And you know, since it doesn't really have any weight, I mean, not any weight, but I mean, like, yeah, it has it's low density. How's that? Low density, so it'd be like, I would compare it to maybe trying to use aluminum as an anvil.
Which probably wouldn't.
Except it would not dent like aluminum would, because it's lightweight, but it's not soft and malleable like aluminum is. So whereas aluminum does that, it would more likely chip or break or crack or something to that effect.
Roy's trying to be a trendsetter. He wants to say beryllium anvils should be the new fad. No. You want a new fad, you gotta make sure people are properly preheating their anvils, Roy.
Yeah. Well, that's funny. Still funny.
So that's what the Harbor Freight anvil is made of, beryllium. Titanium beryllium Damascus. A glass anvil. Oh, you guys are fun. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's make a glass anvil. Oh God, just one hit. But I will say, a lot of interesting stuff there about. I have a plushie anvil, Trail Dust. It's in. Actually, I have two. One's the fully finished one is in my truck right now. I use it as an emergency pillow with my plushie hammer, and the other one is sitting over there somewhere. But yeah, I have a plushie anvil. Tried to get Elaine to start making them as a side business, and she kind of fell off the face of the earth. So easy come, easy go. But anyway, guys, tempered glass. I do have to kind of call it because I have to get ready to go over to my guild meeting, so and I keep getting rain warnings. So yeah, I gotta kind of get dressed and load my truck up for that, and bring some Christmas presents to give to the Iron in the Hat and the stuff like that. So, yeah. Rock Mike, how you doing? He used to run beryllium bronze alloys on race boat props. There you go. Something strong. Yep, smoosh that like button before you leave. Guild meeting got canceled yesterday at the last second because they're lazy turds. Oof. Big Dog's been lurking. How you doing there, Tim? Yeah.
Hey, well, then I'm back at the house, and
Yeah.
just in time to be done, right?
Yeah, yeah. People are showing up, and you just got back at the shop or back at the house, just in time to call it a day. Yeah, but unfortunately, I can't go long today. Hey, Sam.
Yeah, but I did tell you last night that I was probably going to be driving.
Yeah. It was fully. Yeah. It's just timing is unfortunate. That actually, not to say this stream was any less important, but I'm glad next week I shouldn't have any issues with going long on tomorrow or next week's stream because it's going to be a super fun topic of rebar. And we have special.
And I'll be actually be at my house next week, so I got all day.
Full kit, yeah. And we'll have Speargrass off work in a part of it, and Tim.
And he's gonna be doing Metal of the Week next week instead of me. So
yeah, anybody who has solid information on rebar is more than.
I don't mean I'm not gonna participate. I just mean I'm not gonna. I'm going to do.
He's running.
You know what? I'm probably going to do the same thing I always do. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to see what I can find and glean some interesting facts, and we'll go from there. But I'm going to leave the bulk of it up to people that know what they're talking about, because all I've ever done with rebar is make tent stakes. Yeah. Or well, actually, not even for holding down a tent, for holding down a tarp. So.
Yeah. With that, Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays. I will see you guys on. I think I'm doing a show on Wednesday. Wednesday will be. Yeah, I'll be open on Wednesday.
Wednesday the 22nd.
Yep. And then the 26th will be the next church. So, did I math that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And thank you all. And you guys all have a wonderful day. Be safe. Get out there in your shops.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah. And I will chat with you guys all later. And, of course, thank you to Sully for setting up Metal of the Week and entertaining us with that. And thank you all for doing what you do and being awesome.
Hey, and thank you, and I'd like to thank you guys for, not that you have, well, I mean, I guess you do have a choice, but I'd say for indulging me the metals that aren't really applicable to blacksmithing, because, I mean, if we just did those, I mean, we'd have a month's worth of shows and then have to start over again, so.
Yeah. Right.
All right. Anyways, Merry Christmas, everybody. Thanks for being here, and I really do enjoy it, and I do appreciate the opportunity to be able to sit around and have a chat.
Sam, tune in next week to talk about rebar. You'll find out a lot of information about rebar. All right? So, peace out, everybody. You guys all have fun. Stay safe, and adios.